especially when you have New Valley just performing like that right now. It looks like you can see on your cameras right now, New Valley's going to go ahead and gather up right now. Oh, maybe for a photo. I thought they were going to go for a little bit of a team meeting, if you will.
Oh, I thought they were going to swap players. I was like, everybody
so
got up. Oh, my God.
Two-seeded team. HBA would win that one 2-0. New Valley had a little bit of a challenge against the number 5 seed of Eva Mackay, who was on their way to a Triple Crown, but New Valley ended that in the ARAM game, winning the series 2-1. So now we go in to this championship with New Valley up 1-0, and the ban phase is on for New Valley. So now, I mean, you can relax a little bit here for New Valley as to what you want to, or for New Valley as to what you want to ban, because you really didn't have too much discomfort with what you had. But now Hawaii Baptist Academy really making sure that the Samira doesn't get another clip.
I think the Samira could have had a better answer than an Affilio Senna. I don't know if it's necessarily ban-worthy, but it's definitely something to focus on. But like you said, right, New Valley, they don't have to change too much, only have to accommodate for the things that are being banned. I don't know if I would ban Samira and Pantheon at the same time, considering I like to consider bot lanes as pairs, right? But once you ban one of them, the other one is not as viable unless there's another answer. For example, Caitlyn Morgana can go Caitlyn Lux, right? If you ban out the Caitlyn, you're done with those two options. So not too sure what else the Pantheon would be pairing with, but I think they're tending to the possibility that, okay, we're trying to ban out stuff that is going to capitalize on our immobile characters, okay? So I think that's what they're trying to do right here. I'm very interested to see because, as you've noticed, the sides have now swapped.
Right. So HBA is now choosing blue side, so they're going to get the first bans as well as the first pick here to start. And again, blue side has mainly been a good side for most of these teams here, so we'll see if that works out for HBA. And I know, I mean, even in tournament mode at higher level leagues, right, blue side is usually the best side in most situations as well, including drafts. But they're going to ban out the Wukong. So all 3 characters that we saw on the side of New Valley from the get-go, Jungle's support line and the Samira as well, they're all gone in this situation. So it's going to be New Valley that needs to come up with maybe something a little bit different here. But for New Valley, they ban out the Mordekaiser, they ban out the Caitlyn, and they ban out the Hecarim here. So mainly for ICB at the very get-go here, but the Caitlyn and the Mordekaiser, a little bit of a different strategy here for them.
Yeah, the Inters focusing on what was good throughout this tournament, not necessarily just the stuff that was good in the last game, but focusing on throughout what was good in the tournament. And ICB, tending to my words here, going for the speed demon that is the ICB special, locking in this Rammus blind, which is not something you would see very often because think about it. What if the enemy team suddenly drops all of it being AP? I know you smiled a little bit. We have a friend who really loves Yorick. Shout out to him. He's in the venue.
Yeah, our friend is in the venue. He really loves Yorick, but unfortunately a little bit of a bait and switch, if you will. So it's not a Yorick. Sorry, buddy. It is a Yasuo that gets picked out here instead. So the Yasuo is out as well as the Seraphine. Actually, it's our producer that's smiling on that swap and bait as well. But Seraphine also brought out as well at the same time. So Seraphine, again, we saw this earlier on in I believe it was the first series that was played, but it really didn't come up to much of anything, honestly, for that. Maybe a few stuns here and there in a few team fights, but really didn't show up other than that. And now on the side of Hawaii Baptist, ICB is going to pull out the Veigar in this situation.
Well, ICB's locking in the Veigar.
But they're going to switch it up, obviously. Yeah, it's going to go to Mokazu, who's in mid lane. But they lock up the Veigar in mid. And, I mean, Veigar, obviously, with the stun on the arena, very good for team fights. And you've got, if that Veigar can stack up pretty well in the early game, that's going to be a lot of damage coming down the stretch.
Oh, yeah, I absolutely think so. And just looking at the 2 champions of Rammus Veigar, right? If you're thinking about the jungle mid pairing, that gank assist is crazy. Lock up the Veigar inside the cage, or lock up whoever inside the cage, and then the Rammus just has free reign to charge in without any say whatsoever. I think the Yasuo Seraphine being locked in at the same time is because if you lock in a Yasuo and the Seraphine, you kind of take those 2 counters away from each other and push it into the same team for your own benefit. Senna, I was very surprised to see it again, but this could be a fasting Senna potential with the fact that Senna can be the carry in terms of AD and with the Veigar being the carry in terms of AP. It's very possible that you pair Senna with somebody like a Sion, like a Tahm Kench, anybody that can provide that tank's utility rather than another carry. And we're seeing triple damage I won't say damage. It depends on what the Malphite chooses to build. But we have AP in terms of Malphite, in terms of damage. We have Viego being AD, and we have Yasuo being AD. So a good damage mix here and an overall good composition so far from the Inters.
Yeah, the Viego's also going to be pulled out as well. So they're going to have the Viego in jungle in a while. Meanwhile, we still have yet to find out pretty much to the ADC side as well as the jungle for Hawaii Baptist Academy. They're going to stick with the Aphelios, which I think made some impact a little bit in that last game, but not enough for it to make a huge difference. And then the Garen is actually going to be pulled out here for this team of HBA. So I think this might be one of the first times we see the Garen out here as well. We might have seen it in an earlier series.
We did.
But no, this has to be a bait. No, is it? It should be a bait here. I think I saw. Yeah, Garen is going to be the pick. My producer's giving me a little bit of hope here. A top lane Nunu. Unfortunately, no, it's going to be the Garen that is pulled out here. And the final pick for the side of New Valley is going to be a Varus. No, Jhin.
No Varus.
No Varus.
No Jhin. Yes, it is going to be lock-in. Finalized is going to be that Jhin. So a lot of immobility once again in the bot lane. I think HBA are running back this Aphelios Senna in the hopes that they're going to focus ICB's priority, not on farming, not on anything like that, but focusing on managing that bot lane, making sure that the Aphelios Senna have a guardian, right? Somebody to keep them safe from the Viego. But to be fair, the Viego himself does not have a lot of mobility. He can use the mist to kind of gain a little bit of distance before he shows himself with the Spectral Maw, but that's not going to do too much in terms of covering a lot of space. And I think right here, now, we're seeing a very AD-heavy comp on the side of the Inters. We saw the Rammus first pick on the side of HBA, and we were like, okay, this should be a very good idea for New Valley. They should be drafting some AP. Unless Malphite is going AP, Seraphine is the only main source of it. Yasuo is an auto-based champion. So is Viego. So is Jhin. That plays perfectly into Rammus's hands. Now, was this a draft differential? That does depend, again, on how the matchup chooses to be. If I see Seraphine with a Moonstone, I'm going to lose it, though.
Yeah, I think HBA is key here. I mean, for me, at the very least, try to play around, I mean, like the team situations, right? I mean, HBA was so split up in that very last game, right? And now you have a lot more team potential here, right? With the Rammus knockup, you have the Veigar cage at the same time, too, and you even have that Garen ultimate to play off of it and send a shot across the world. I mean, you've got a lot of team fight potential here for HBA. It's just that, can you stick together in that later phase outside of laning phase and just try to give yourself a better position to win this fight? That's the question here. Because and New Valley, like you were saying, I mean, there's a good mix-up that's going on, but, I mean, who are you going to focus out here is the bigger question, right? They saw HBA, they focused down ICB to make sure that he wasn't able to get ahead. For New Valley, you've got so many playmakers on that side, right? The Wukong from Master earlier on, going onto the Viego now, that's probably going to be a little bit of a difference there, too. But also, Banana Ramaslamov, if that was any indication as well on the support side, that was big for them, too, just to get off whatever they had. So for New Valley, I mean, there's so many playmakers on their side. Hawaii Baptist Academy, not to say that they don't have any, it's just that none of them really showed up in that last match.
None of them did show up. Let's hope their monitors are on for game number 2 as we load on to Summoner's Rift. You can see them huddled against the base gates, and off to the races they are.
And I think another thing, too, is, right, for Hawaii Baptist Academy, you really got to be able to focus on vision as well. Their vision score, I don't think was very high in that last one, right? They couldn't see the jungle, they really couldn't see the river at the same time. Didn't see Baron Rift Herald Pit, didn't see Dragon Pit at all either. So I mean, for Hawaii Baptist, I think key here is just to make sure that your vision's a lot better. And same thing here, they're going to go right ahead and make sure that there's no shenanigans going on from the very get-go, just warding that bush right away. Although again, not. This series so far, both of the series, haven't really been invade heavy so far. So at the very get-go, at least they're being careful of that from the very start with a minute in.
Yes, but the mind games of it can still warrant you to use up your wards. You can see right there, bot side, Aphelios using up the ward, Rammus using up a ward. Very normal for Rammus to use up the ward since, you know, you can just buy that sweepers. But now you're at a ward disadvantage. The immobile bot lane, the Aphelios Senna that we said were hammered time and time again, they now once again have well, they don't have no wards, but they have one less ward than they would like. So if you take advantage of that, it does become very powerful. I do want to note something. I think I saw this in the previous game with the Mordekaiser too, but the Garen is running Ghost Heal, which is not something you typically see.
very interesting, but same time too. I mean, for right now, I mean, even in the jungles, right? I mean, the differences in the jungle starts for them as well. I mean, maybe HBA is thinking that they can, you know, build up a little bit more. I mean, just from the get-go at the very least. But for New Valley right now, right, and this is where it starts off already. You can see the differences. Look how far New Valley's pushed it up. Remember, New Valley did this at the very get-go as well. When they were on blue side, they pushed it all the way up right before turn, and it just froze the lane. But now they're able to poke them out from the very get-go. So this is Hawaii Baptist Academy already playing on the back end in bot lane, if you will. And that's already level 2 up for the Jin, so they want to try to take advantage of this. They will push them forward just a little bit. So much damage. There's the root from them. The flash invested to make sure that that burn happens, and it will be the Jin using the Ignite to get first blood in the first fight in the first 2.5.
So I'm not even sure why Dry Puffin appeared into the bottom lane so late. He missed the XP for the first wave, but not only that, coming at half health and expecting that snare to come in, there was a lot of time before the Jin started engaging forward. You had plenty of time to use summon or heal there. Decides to save it, not worth using for an early kill there, but that's first blood over to the Jin.
Yeah, I mean, right now if the Jin can build up quickly, right, that Jin does a lot of damage, especially on that 4th shot ult. So, I mean, for New Valley right now, they're starting off the right foot. I mean, look, they might already get a turret plate here from the very get-go. We'll back off right now, but, I mean, they can afford to just go right in and take a lot of damage. I mean, that's a lot of damage from the Seraphine early on. Banana Ramasama's been landing everything. If Banana Ramasama can land a hook pretty accurately with the Thresh, I'm fairly certain the Seraphine's going to work out for them for right now. But it looks like they are going to get first turret plate, and that's big, especially in bot lane.
That is big. We already talked about it. The Ophelia Senna is not going to be a lane that can kindly push up into the lane, so gonna have to play back, gonna have to play on the tower, and losing a plate so early into the game is very unorthodox, right? You typically would expect at least a little bit of fighting back, but right now, Dry Puffin and IDK, they're playing on the back foot, and when you're playing on your tower as a Senna, it gets really difficult for you to get souls, because the soul range kind of just blasts however it chooses to, and that could mean that you're out of range for a majority of the souls. We're going to have to see where that soul count is in a little bit, but Master Q here making Icy's world a little bit of pain. You know, as a Rammus, you definitely want to have at least level 5, so you can put a couple levels into that Powerball, a couple levels into the taunt maybe even. But, you know, buying a little time for Viego is totally fine, because if you capture a soul, you're just back to good.
2 trapped in the cage right now, but nothing to do anything. It's basically there to use the Q and build up a little bit more stacks, if you will, for this Veigar towards the latter parts of the game. But for right now, Mokuzu has to back off. But really, I mean, they do force out the flash from the Veigar, so that's not a bad thing for you, especially in mid lane ganks. So now this Viego looking to head maybe bottom lane, or well, I thought so for a little while, maybe to just force them out, but really don't need to when this Jin and Seraphine are already forcing them all the way back anyways.
Absolutely so. I do want to mention one thing, which is the first blood that happened not too long ago, is that when you get a first blood, it is 300 gold for the kill, plus a bonus 100 for whenever, because it's first blood. And then anybody that is nearby and helped you out is going to get a 6th one. That should total about 500 right now. But if you look at the gold lead, it is nearly 2,000, which means 1,500 of that is purely from the CS numbers. If you were to take a look at that top side, it is 31-12. And that is not something that should be happening in that matchup, especially because both of you are melee and capable of farming. In the melee into range matchup mid, there is double a CS lead already. And the Aphelios has 5.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's very not good.
That's not good at all. I mean, the 30 CS differential right now, and there's a reason why this 1-0 versus 0-1 right now is they're going to try to come right in.
But here comes
Rammus, here comes the Rammus from the back line, trying to make sure that they've got a route. Do they have the follow-up is the question. Banana Ramaslama has to get out, uses the heal up for just a little while here. Now that's rooted here. Does Banini Boy have enough damage to get that down? No Ignite either used for Banini Boy, so a really scruffed fight there for both sides, but I mean, in the end, it's a little bit of a worthy trade, if you will, because New Valley was able to kind of stave away a 2v3.
This is going to be a repeat gank, but I don't know if it's going to be worth it. This Rammus is going to be by himself. He's not going to get reinforcements. Jin can just run away with the 4th shot, so a little bit of wasted time. But we did mention it. ICB had to be down here to help this lane, otherwise it was going to go to Shaman. As you can immediately see, with 1 showing up, both summoners on Seraphine are now gone. That is this is a third gank coming back.
Oh my god, this Rammus just wants to go over and over again. But this time in a 3v1 situation. And now the follow-up happening here for Hawaii Baptist Academy, who's going to trade that kill right back. And there's the cavalry that Hawaii Baptist needs to tie this game up at kills.
And there is that bot lane focus we were talking about. It is so crucial for HBA. It is essentially their winning formula. And look at how much time ICB has spent down there. It was a total minute. That means Master Q can now invade without needing to worry about where that Rammus is going to be. You can see that CS differential growing further and further ahead in that Viego versus Rammus matchup. Master Q going to get another one. And not only do you have to worry about the CS in terms of the jungle, but because every camp you clear is going to affect that jungle item. The first jungler to hit 20 on that snack count is going to be able to smite enemy champions, but is also going to get the empowered smite all the way up to 900.
Right. And I mean, look, again, you were talking about CS earlier as well. Let's go back to that because right now you take a look at the CS numbers all across the board. For Veigar, it's also important to get up that CS number as well as even get damage onto anybody with that Q, right? So right now only 27, pretty much almost doubled from the Yasuo as well, and that Aphelios now down, what is that, 38, now 39? I mean, 39 CS right now. I mean, this is just an insane number coming out from the Jhin, but that's how much pressure that the Seraphine and Jhin is exuding right now. And like you were saying, the Senna and the Aphelios, I mean, right now not able to push ups and they're not able to get anything out of the waves, and maybe that early game start is what's forcing them back. And for right now, here comes the Rammus out to Percival. Percival forces to use the flash, but they still get the Yasuo out for right now. The Yasuo, no more flashes, is kept in the cage for just a little while here. Mokuzu has the ultimate to use, not enough damage for right now, but still is able to force it away. Percival still wants to fight this, though, knowing that ICB is in the venue, but will back away for right now. I mean, still wants to scrum this out, but ICB just decides, let's hold off for right now.
The jungler is making such a big impact in this game right here. It is doing... Oh! Mokuzo could have died there, but Lunarox...
Well, yeah, I mean, Lunarox in the top lane gets the Garen. We didn't see that, but Lunarox is able to get there, and it's going to be a good push here for the top lane for New Valley, Lunarox is able to get at least a turret plate there.
This whole wave is going to die.
Yeah, and meanwhile here for the side of New Valley, they're looking like they want to opt for the Dragon here for right now, as the Dragon is up and available, Chemtech Dragon up, but deciding not to. Maybe the Seraphine coming back down to lane for right now. Rammus looking for something on the Yasuo, trying to just dive right in and backstop for right now, knowing that there's no follow-up anyways after the knock. So for right now, HBA playing a little more back, but New Valley knows that they've got a little bit of a push advantage.
They do have that push advantage, absolutely. Just look at the goal. It's speaking for itself. The last time we mentioned it, it was 2,000. Now it's well over 3K, and it's not the kills making that difference. The kills are 2-1 right now, but look at the CS. Senna has more stacks than Aphelios has minion kills. That's a very alarming statistic to have. Does that mean that the Aphelios is now taking a defensive role and the Senna is going to be the carry? You can't really tell.
Well, here comes the fight here. The Rammus in so much trouble that he's going to already use the roll away to try to get away here, but now it's going to be a fight. It's a pinch-out fight, a 4v3 situation for Hawaii Baptist Academy. It's a great route there for right now, but it isn't enough. They got to back away, and it's going to be a lot of flashes being used. The 2-on-1 up top, down the middle, going back to the middle lane here for right now. The Viego still in the river looking for some help, as Master Q's in just so much trouble from ICB, but here comes the cavalry. ICB does take down Master Q, but at what price? Because ICB is looking like they're going to go down as well. So the jungler v jungler trade is out. Here comes the cavalry one more time. Banana Ramasama able to stave them away for right now, right over the jungle. They're gonna try to back here, but I don't know if that's the brightest idea, especially, and they're gonna jump right over the wall here. IDK's just gonna go right into turret, that dives for into turret, but it's still enough kills, and the Aphelios now looking like they can catch up. They get 2 kills in that situation.
They get so much, and it's all onto the Aphelios, which is a very scary thing. I think New Valley's bot lane has had this consistent thing where they get a little too cocky even in their lead, and they kind of just roll over it and think they can just steamroll their opponents. That's not the case here, and it falls to, you know, their disadvantage once again. The Jhin and the Seraphine dying, losing tempo on the map. Yes, you can see Lunarox is just winning this lane convincingly with the Malphite going tank, but now what would have been an easy opportunity for you to go for dragons is not that case anymore. And now Pacifial
Presidio in mid lane right now, 2-on-2. You can see the vision right now. They know where they're coming from. And now HBA is in a whole lot of trouble here. The ultimate's being pulled out. ICB trying to make the biggest difference, but it might not even matter here. The Veigar's off and away. But it is going to be the Icy kill that wins the trade-off with the Yasuo for right now. So Hawaii Baptist Academy, it looks like they're trying to make the comeback here from the goal disadvantage right now. They have the kill lead, but the goal disadvantage still slightly in New Valley's favor.
The Thornmail Rush on the Rammus made the difference there. They just took the Yasuo down, just whittle, and then immediately just fell apart just like that. The Yasuo opting for boots first, which is a very common thing, but you just don't typically get a lot of damage as a result from that. And so now you're looking at the snacks across the board. But curtain call, Bambini.
Oh, Bonini Boy's got one shot, looking for the last one. Just going to be outside of range. If that last one hits, oh boy, that is trouble. But ICB not quite out of the woods just yet. Master Q wants to chase this for right now, but decides not to, as ICB is going to head for the bushes and probably just back off from right now with such little health as well. But now the first third plate going to fall here for New Valley. So now HBA seems like they're building up a lot more confidence here. But here comes the pinch out from Bonini Boy right now. I mean, in jungle, they know where they are because of that ward. So a little bit more better vision in the jungle, if you will, for HBA for right now. So it's a little bit of a back-off situation.
Back-off situation. We did mention it, but the Garen did fall again in the top side, falling further and further behind there in that lane. And you definitely don't want a Malphite getting ahead, and I'm going to tell you why. It's because Malphite, like Rammus, is an armor specialist, meaning they build armor better than they build magic resist by a wide margin. If you look at who's on the other side, Garen, Aphelios, Senna are all magic damage dealers, but hold on, Dry Puffin.
Oh, there's the charm out now. Dry Puffin in a lot of trouble. IDK having to just back out for right now, but it's still 1-0 trade so far, but down in mid lane now, Makazu really in big trouble in a 2-on-1 situation of their own. Already 2 turret plates falling, looking for a third. Now Master Q wants to go right in. They will summon the Rift Herald to take care of the rest of that turret plate, and that's still a lot more gold right before the 14th minute ends. In fact, that will take a lot of that turret plating out for right now. That destroys the mid turret at the same time right before that 14th minute. And look, turret plating gone 1 is great. All 5 before the 14th minute is bigger.
It is huge, especially in this new preseason. They decided to make turrets tankier between each plate, but as a result, each plate actually gives you a little bit more gold. If I'm not mistaken, each plate now should give you 170 gold split across the people that are locally there. That is not a big difference from the previous amount, but any amount is going to have that return interest going into it. You know all about return interest. You love your TFT games out here.
My gold interest is not the greatest in TFT. Some people will know. If you look at my master history in TFT, not the greatest right now. 57755. We're not going to talk about that right now. Dragon is going to be taken up by the side of New Valley. That's the Chemtech Dragon down, so no more Chemtech the rest of the game. Cloud Dragon coming up next here for them. But right now, I mean, no chance at stealing it, so it's a backaway situation unless this Ramith wants to go for Percival. Not going to make it in time anyway, so it'll be back off. And now, again, the Garen looking like they might go down here. And this is the Malphite just getting even stronger. 3 straight kills in top lane for the Malphite.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Malphite. Oh, but the last breath coming out from the Yasuo, trying to see if he can finish off Mokazu. Not going to mean anything. The flash, is it going to be enough?
No. Wow, the Veigar able to find the kill and stay up at the look how low Mokazu is.
Oh my god.
Holy cow. If that just doesn't exist.
Oh, but hold on.
Hold on
Bonini's
here. Bonini Boy
jumped.
in a lot of trouble from IDK and Dry Puffin. So now again, HBA seeming like they can get a little bit more momentum here. It's not like they're backing off entirely, but still in a 7K gold deficit. It doesn't look the greatest, but at least HBA is putting up more of a fight than in the last game. And
the difference maker here is definitely the gold that Dry Puffin had. If Dry Puffin had that mythic available, but hold on, the charm, the stun, the root, the 4th shot, it's just that easy for New Valley's bot lane. But there's the Gale Force forward.
Wow, and now Bonini Boy's going to try to end Dry Puffin's life right here. Only running in a straight line. Has to be the life. Just gets out. Just gets out. Right, and without that flash, he's done.
Oh my goodness. Walking in a straight line.
Yeah, everybody will tell you in this game, walking in a straight line, never a good thing. Never a good thing, especially against an AC. Never a good thing.
It was not a good thing there. But yeah, the gold difference really made impactful. Instead of a flash, it could have been a Gale Force, right? It could have been a 2-minute cooldown, but instead it was a 5-minute cooldown there. And these little things are just going to stack up more and more if New Valley are able to keep capitalizing on it. But Mokazu
here is in a lot of trouble. Same thing with the jungle as well. But there's 3 of them against one ICB who's in so much trouble right now. And that's the rest of the cavalry coming in. ICB just not having a great time here in the jungle so far. And they're going to keep going. New Valley wants to go right in here. And they've got the Veigar caught out now. It's a run away for Dry Puffin. But Dry Puffin is just running away just to meet Percival inside of the bot lane. And now all Dry Puffin can do is await the death that comes from Bananarama Slamma.
No!
Maybe no stays alive, and Bananarama Slamma goes down by turret. How does Dry Puffin stay alive here?
Oh,
I mean, it's a turret down, but what a survival.
Master Q canceled like 2 autos under tower, thinking that if he overstayed, he would fall to the turret, and he was right, but canceling those autos meant that Dry Puffin got to live, and Bananarama Slamma tried to greed for it, but it was just not enough. You're a Seraphine with Battle Song, so you're not going to do a lot of damage here. You're not your typical Leandries, and so that was just a free... Oh my god, Lunarox is fast!
Yeah, he wants him, and he is fast as well. Think of an F1 car just going right at this Garen right now. And this Garen, all they can do is just run away. The Rammus here trying to support this Garen, but do they want to follow up is this question, because this Malphite is just so tanky. We're talking about armor. This Malphite's got a lot of it right now. He's trying to make a difference in a 2-on-1 situation, trying to turn this all the way around here.
Ooh.
This Garen is so low. It's going to flash for the try and kill here, but can the Garen get alive with the kill? Stays alive, and ICB making the big difference. The Garen able to turn the fight just right around.
Saving Private Garen, holy. You can definitely tell Lunarox was just feeling it. He was just a little bit cocky, just standing there intimidating, menacingly, if you will, for the JoJo enthusiasts, but not going to be able to secure the kill there, and that Tornado was so close to connecting onto the bot lane of HBA, but they are still on the back foot. The gold lead, almost 10k as the Rammus and the Veigar.
Oh, but the cage is good. The cage gets Persevere in there, and so Mokazu's got the kill for ICB as well, and now ICB starting to get a little bit of momentum. Panini Boy's in so much trouble, has the shield to protect them for right now, and another cage is going to get Bananarama Slamma down there, and now Master Q has to flash over the wall to get out with their life. But right now, it's looking like a good fight here for HBA. Again, momentum the key here for them. They're going to try to even chase this down some more. ICB, though, no ultimate to try to knock up right now. They're just pushing them all the way back to the tower.
The fast boy is striking again. It's not a 6-0 performance, but 4-2 and 3, and you will take it because you're keeping your team's tournament streams alive. You're keeping your team relevant enough to mean something in this game. And now, HB, they actually have the avenue into the Dragon Pit right now. They could tie it up to make it 1-1, kill off that the Dragon stacking win condition. Lunarox in a beautiful position. That's going to be a 4-man encore into the last breath. Is it going to mean anything? No, not for the time being, as the Garen, the Aphelios, the Senna, everybody is going to fall. It's going to be a clean ace.
A 5-0, an ace for nothing from New Valley. That's so good for them. And look, we're not even in Soul Point. It's only the second Dragon, and they've already got an ace in the hole here. And look at the gold differential now. It's a 10k gold difference, 10.5 at the very least here for New Valley right now. So this is, I mean, right now just the snowball getting bigger. Even if the kill differential was smaller than it was at this point in the game in the last 20 minutes, it's still the gold that makes the difference. And now they want to try to even take Baron in this case. So they're going to go Dragon, they're going to go Baron here. And I don't think, or rather maybe not Baron for right now, just taking care of Vision for right now. I thought they were. It looked like they were. I mean, everybody was going there. But at the same token, too, I mean, for HBA, they've got no vision in the river. I mean, it's the same case as last time, but they've got no vision in the river to figure out what's going on down there.
They do have some tanky members. That is the silver lining here. They can have the Garen and the Rammus come in first in order to, you know, provide that. But I think the Rammus is actually falling for one of the big baits that you can have as a Rammus player, which is to overstack on armor without stacking too much on health. Look at the health bar on that Rammus. It is just shy of 2k. If you have more armor than it really needs, because, you know, resistances have diminishing returns. Mokazu has diminishing death counts.
Well, here comes the fight down inside of the river. This is probably for the Baron here. Massive Q able to trade out for the Veigar right now, and this is all New Valley trying to get the kill. Yes, you get the Jhin, but the Garen is just going to pay the price for it, and all Rammus can do is run away with their lives. They're going to try to chase him down, but it's looking like this is pretty much going to be the Baron here unless they can get rid of ICB.
They could try to do it with ICB still alive, but it is a little bit scary given that he does have the smite. It looks pretty simple here. Slowed down by the smite, and the poor jungler.
Oh, the poor jungler.
A fate worse than death.
Now, I mean, surely with that in mind, I mean, the death timer's right. I mean, still looking, just dire for HBA right now. ICB out for the next 25. You're not going to have a jungler to worry about. Sure, you've got a lot of vision, but, I mean, you do have the Hex Gates to try to get there as fast as possible.
The Hex Gates do help.
Yeah, so the Hex Gates are still there. Looking for the Baron right now. Not a lot of damage being poured into it, so HBA has an opportunity to try to get there. Can they do it is the question. They're fighting a man down, but will they be able to pull this off? Shot round heard around the world here for that Senna, but that shot is just absolutely denied any access. The shutdown onto the Yasuo, making this a trade for right now, but it's still a chase down for the Veigar, and even in a desperation mode, for the Garen here to try to turn this around is near impossible of a hill to climb. It's a triple for the Viego, and it'll be the Baron heading on over to New Valley.
Poor Garen's just trying to find his way home, bro. Like, he got stuck between a rock and a hard place. Very unlucky for him, but yeah, now the Rammus cannot do anything. Obviously could have opted for the Hex Gates, a potential miracle steal, but what are you really going to do here? 10k plus ace that gold lead, and ICB just not fast enough this game, not true to the form that we saw earlier in the day, and instead, the shoe's on the other foot. We have not seen a Malphite this fed in a long time.
Yeah, this is, I mean, Malphite 7-2, look at the Viego 8-1. Pretty much everybody in the positive. I think the Veigar's, I mean, the straight 5s for the Veigar, the straight 4s for the Rammus. I mean, right now, it's just not very good. I mean, look, at the same time, too, you can look at the support numbers, right? On either side, the Senna 0-6-2. For the Seraphine, 1-3-19. The kill participation here in it's so good, and that's, I mean, New Valley's just got this whole teamwork going together. HBA really needed to play around their team composition right now, but instead it's New Valley that's just taking advantage of all these different team fights. They've got Baron now. Again, they don't even have Soul Point yet. They don't have that third dragon yet, and they've already taken Baron. I mean, New Valley's just snowballing this, and it's rolling down the steepest hill possible. Oh, they're going to get pinched, though. Oh, boy.
Some stragglers left over. Beautiful from Bananarama Slammer once again. Two-man route into the Goon Squad, the signature, of course. Signature Goon Squad had to all show up for the overkill here.
If you can land a hook, you can land anything else. Trust me. No, I'm just joking. No.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know about that one either. But I mean, look, Bananarama Slammer, even we saw this, right? Throughout this entire series, right, as well as that last one, since that Thresh game on ARAP, it's been landing pretty much everything here for the side of New Valley. And so New Valley now, again, the snowball just keeps rolling down, and the hill just gets steeper for Hawaii Baptist. And in fact, New Valley making this a base race at this point, looking like they want to play this ARAM style, if you will, and try to take this all the way down mid.
Yeah, the best thing you can do if you're a team from behind is you want to send one person, your best split pusher, off to the side to see if you can get any objective bounties, while you kind of just turtle shell inwards for the remaining 4 members as you lose your base. It's inevitable, but it's definitely something. But now, breaking into the inhibitor, a couple more shots from this cannon minion, and this inhibitor is going to be the first of many to be falling in the inevitable future. Maybe, you know, HBA can turn this around, but it's just very, very difficult for them to be able to hold.
I mean,
4-man charm into the unstoppable force. That's going to be everybody locked inside the Veigar cage, but it's not going to matter. The event horizon is not going to stop New Valley Middle School from pushing in. The Jhin taking 3.
I mean, what do you say about this performance from New Valley so far? I mean, there's not much else we can say about what they're doing. They're playing everything to perfection right now. They've already got one inhibitor open at this point. I mean, looking for more. Yes, the Yasuo was dead for a long time, but they're still in a great position level-wise to take in a 4v5 situation as ICB falling already down to half. The first Nexus turret is gone, looking for the rest of it for right now. ICB, the only one really that can do anything before IDK comes in, and now here comes the Jhin looking for the shots, going left and right here, and now they're not walking a straight line at the very least, but it's still enough to stave them away for right now. Shot from the Senna on the ultimate. Not going to find really much damage of anything, if you will. But it's still looking like they're going to push back. And look, again, not a third dragon either, not a soul point for them. And this is New Valley's basically if they want to push in, but it's 5v4 as they back off.
There's going to be the Soaring Slam coming in from the Rammus. Is going to root up a bunch of people. Not going to matter too much. Are they able to kill down the Yasuo? They are. 5v3 now on the board in the nearby vicinity. Jin is stacking up a bunch of them, but look at the encore once again. It's absolutely beautiful. The chain CC. There's going to be the unstoppable force from the Malphite another time. It's just deja vu from a minute ago. I've just been in this place before, but this time it's going to result in the Nexus falling. The Jin is going to go down. ICB fighting for his tournament life here.
This is fighting for everything at this point here. ICB's got to stay alive as long as possible, and they are focusing them all down so that they can take this Nexus in style. ICB is going to fall. That's the ace. That's the timer. That should be the game end at the same time. They're just going to roll around here, and they're just going to make sure that they can take down the Nexus, or one of the turrets at least, in bottom lane for right now. IDK, I don't know what you can do in this situation for them right now, especially with things going as well as they are right now for New Valley, trying to whittle away at that Nexus in a 3v3 situation. The Yasuo trying to come back. They might not even make it before they get there. The silence on the Lunatrox right now, but it's still Master Q that's going to get the ult up, and it's just going to rip away at the rest of the team, and they will rip away at the Nexus as well. Nexus down to half health. Dry Bumpin' is there. Mokazu trying their best to make sure anything is possible, but anything is not possible here. The Veigar gets the kill on the Seraphine. It will not matter. They will just attack the Nexus, and New Valley Middle School will take the final trophy of the fall 2022 semester as champions of the Middle School League. Joined now by Banana Rama Slammo, who is one Hamill at this point. Well, I mean, what a name in itself, but I want to ask you, how did you come up with this name? I mean, we need to know the origin story of this.
Honestly, bananas have been my favorite food for like a really long time, and I've like heard Donkey Kong songs. So yeah, I just like put it together, and I wanted something to be like recognizable, and so I picked Banana Rama Slam.
All rhymes in the end.
Yeah, I definitely think you're going to be a household name in the middle school scene, creating a legacy here with your first victory. Tell me what it was like going through the draft, because I've seen so many different champions from you today. Which one was your favorite one to play?
Honestly, I really enjoyed Seraphine, mainly because she's more team fight oriented, and I just like being around my teammates. So.
I need to know what it's like. I mean, so you guys go all the way into game number 3 in your last game in the semifinals, and you having to play Thresh. I mean, but hitting every single thing. I mean, that had to be fun for you going into that ARAM game and getting some momentum going into the championship series as well.
Yeah, it was. I don't really play those types of sports, and so playing Thresh was just surprising, especially since I did so well. And
awesome. And one last question for you, obviously, celebrating this victory. Is there anybody you want to shout out in particular, you know, to the audience, to the crowd back at home?
I just wanted to thank my teammates for like helping us get here, and I also want to thank my parents for letting me join the esports club, and yeah.
All right, well, a great performance and a great shout-out for you in the end. Banana Ramaslama from the winning team, New Valley, your champions. We'll give away the trophies in a little while, but thank you for joining us, and good luck. And are you going to be joining us next semester as well for the spring side?
I think so, I might.
All right, well, it looks like New Valley might be a threat coming up in the next semester as well, so thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. And so, Banana Ramaslama with you inside of the booth here, and what a performance, once again, overall from this side of New Valley. You heard them. Spring 2020 or spring 2023 coming up for them next season, starting, by the way, and don't forget, registration now open for that spring semester. But if you're going to play league, you're going to run into a team named New Valley, who is a big threat and have a big target on their back right now.
Absolutely. You now know what to expect. You got to see them showcase. You got to see them at their peaks. You got to see them at their valleys. You got to be prepared to handle any stage of them come spring semester. And I think now, with a little bit of an idea of what that means moving forward, that's going to be a pretty interesting spring season.